He served in the Western States Mission of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints from 1950 to 1952. Denver, Colorado was then the mission headquarters, and he greatly enjoyed the friendships developed in Grand Island, Nebraska, Roswell, New Mexico, and Grand Junction, Colorado. Lieutenant Colonel Hess became an aviation cadet in 1953. He completed pilot training in the PA-18 and T-6 at Columbia Air Force Base, Mississippi. Basic flying training in the T-28 and T-33 at Greenville Air Force Base, Mississippi, and Williams Air Force Base in Arizona, where he received pilot wings with the class of 55 and was commissioned a second lieutenant in the United States Air Force. He was assigned to the Air Defense Command and stationed at MacDill Air Force Base in Florida as a ground inceptor controller. He completed combat training on the F-89 at Moody Air Force Base, Georgia in 1956, and was then stationed in Kinchlow Air Force Base, Michigan, flying the F-89 and the F-102. After graduating from the AFIT, he was assigned to the Technical Air Command and stationed at George Air Force Base, California, Wittenberg, Germany, Cam Bay, South Vietnam, and Tak Hill Royal Thai Air Force Base, Thailand, flying the F-4 and the F-105. As a captain, he completed 31 and a half combat missions over North Vietnam. His F-105 was downed by ground fire near the China border northeast of Hanoi on the 24th of August, 1967. He was held prisoner of war for 5.5 years in the Hanoi Hilton, Annex, Camp Hope, Unity, Zoo, Dog Patch, and Plantation detention camps. He was released by the North Vietnamese on 14 March 1973. He's been awarded the Silver Star with 2nd Bronze Oak Leaf Cluster, the Legion of Merit, the Distinguished Flying Cross with 2nd Bronze Oak Leaf Cluster, the Air Medal with 1st Oak Leaf Cluster, the Purple Heart with 1st Bronze Oak Leaf Cluster, the Bronze Star with the 1st Bronze Oak Leaf Cluster, and the Prisoner of War Medal. He's a member of the Air Force Association, American Legion, National Association for the Uniformed Services in Salt Lake City. He's on the POW Advisory Committee, the Freedoms Foundation in Valley Forge, and an honorary member of the Bountiful Deal Posse. He received the Liberty Bell Award from the Utah State Bar Association in 1973, the Service of Mankind Award from Sertoma in 1974, the Outstanding AF Junior ROTC Instructor Award in 1976 and 77, Minuteman Award from the Utah National Guard in 1977, the Falcon Award from Clearfield High School in 1995, and the Utah Air Force Association Service Award in 1996. He's married to Michelle Martin of Layton, Utah. They're the proud parents of 2 daughters. Shantae, born on Veterans Day. Did you plan that? Born on Veterans Day in 1987. And Kensley, born in 1996. He is the father of 5 married children: Cameron Hess, Heather Nibley, Dr. Warren Hess, Holly Dunn, and Heidi Johnson. Lieutenant Colonel Hess retired from the United States Air Force on November 1st, 1973. Please welcome with me Colonel J. Hess.
Inspiring to be here until that obituary. This is a scarf that was presented to me in 2003. It has on it the emblem for the 4th Allied POW wing. Has a chained eagle on the top and the American flag and service return with honor. There is now a fifth Allied POW wing, the first being those in World War I, the Second World War II, the third Korea, fourth Vietnam, and unfortunately Iraq, as Owen said. This is the colors of the POW ribbon, which I guess reluctantly wear. About 10 years ago, a marvelous, extraordinary woman from Camas, Helene Ma, called me on the phone. She said, my kids don't understand the price of freedom, and I would like to get together some stories, unusual stories of men in war. And she asked if I could talk to her, and I had just an enjoyable afternoon in her home, a cabin on the river coming down out of the Uinta Mountains into Camas. She had interviewed a couple of dozen people, and when she put her book together, it began with the story of Chase Peterson. Chase Peterson spent most of World War II in China as a prisoner with the Japanese. He was one of the Doolittle Raiders. He was born in Hiram, lived in Brigham City. The funeral was a remarkable experience a few years ago. Helene wrote in the book, I asked Colonel Nelson one final question. How do you feel about serving your country? And how do you feel when you see the American flag? And he replied, I was never prepared to be a prisoner of war, but it's given me a much deeper appreciation for my fellow men and the country I live in. I enjoy my freedom. I think it's the greatest country on earth, and I will fight for it any day that they needed me. Freedom is for those willing to defend it. And so Helene, as she finished her book, instead of entitling it The Stories of Men in War, turned up little in the bottom. The title was Freedom is for those willing to defend it. So I am honored to be here to speak, to say thank you to those who have, to those who are, most appropriate to those who are, and to those who will. What I would like to do is just to reflect with you